What's good, YouTube? Flan Speaks back for another video. Once again, I had to do another critical analysis video because this particular situation, I'm seeing a brother go down a route that he shouldn't go down. Very, very unhealthy route. You see a black man attack a black woman. I hate to see it, especially in public. You got an issue with somebody, inbox him, give him some advice. Or even when you come, give advice that's sound. Now, I don't know this man personally, all right? So I'm coming in the spirit of giving advice, but I don't like what he's doing. Now, I don't know if this man is my age. I don't know if he's older. I assume he's kind of younger based on the way he looks, and then also looking at what he tends to focus on and what he tends to make his content about. I assume he's a little younger than me. When you reach a certain age, you start to view the world and view lives and view human beings differently. That's typically what you do, especially when you claim to stand upon some sort of a moral principle or moral ethos, whether it's your religion, whether it's just man code, whether it's common sense. When you gain an understanding of human beings and how they differ, you understand that some people are choleric, some people are sanguine, some people are phlegmatic, some people are melancholic, right? There's different types of individuals. Some people are introverts and extroverts. And when you understand that, and when you're a person that strives to be the type that's sanguine or whatever, that's in the middle, who is able to kind of understand the different personalities and different peoples, and that everybody is on the path that God has destined for them, you become less judgmental. And you start to really just criticize the actions of people and not so much the person themselves, because people themselves are all struggling. We're all trying to get where we're trying to get as we're looking for perfection. This man right here seems to have a serious issue with one Angel Reese, and I think it's very unhealthy for him. So what I'm going to do is give him advice through critiquing a video that he did of the sister, and here goes.
Sexualized. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Charge the Game Podcast. I'll be your host here, Chuck, and we are about to get into a very, very spicy, hypocritical take of Angel Reese, guys. And this is going to be just me calling her out on the bull job that she's known for, and that's actually, how she likes to play victim, but then in another sentence, be the opposite of it. Make sure you guys get in here and subscribe to the...
So now, before we get into that, he said hypocritical. So let's understand the definitions. Whenever two individuals debate, or when we try to get to the truth, we want to understand our definitions. Hypocrisy, okay? By definition, hypocrisy is a noun. That means pretending to have qualities, beliefs, or feelings that one does not actually have. Okay, that's hypocrisy. Pretending to have qualities, beliefs, or feelings that one does not actually have. It also refers to behavior that contradicts what someone claims to believe or feel. Okay? For example, someone tells others not to eat candy, but eats licorice. Don't eat candy, but then I'm going to turn around and eat a bunch of Jolly Ranchers, right? That's hypocrisy. His claim is that Angel Reese is a hypocrite. That's his claim. So now let's see how he supports this claim.
YouTube channel. Also like the video, guys. Let's go. So Angel Reese, guys, she made a lot of headwaves. Obviously, we all know it was the WNBA All-Star game. And if I'm being honest, guys, all these women want some attention. All these women want to be seen. Angel Reese sizzled in two-piece bikini poolside before WNBA All-Star Game photos. Now, guys, before I show you guys these photos, I want to take you guys down memory lane. Now, we remember this epic clip of Angel Reese, guys, after she lost in the March Madness tournament. And this is what she had to say.
Try to stand strong. I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized.
Okay, guys. Now, it's not...
All right, now, this black man just heard a black woman sitting up here in front of a camera and just said that she been through so much. I received death threats, okay? And then I've been sexualized. Now, let's see what he does.
Not really cool to be threatened, stuff like that. Some of this stuff, I will say, Angel Reese does go overboard, cause a little bit of it on herself. But she says,
Cause a little bit of what on herself? What? Death threat?
something very key, very ideal in this clip. She said,
threats. I've been sexualized.
you've been what?
All right. So what he does is, let's overlook and let's downplay the death threats, right? Meaning someone saying, I will kill you, which is very common. Also, if you recall, not too long ago, an individual who claims to be a Caitlin Clark supporter follows Kennedy Carter and Angel Reese to a hotel. Goes to the hotel with a Chicago team and confronts them. And like I said before in a video that I did before, they lucky I wasn't on security, because it would have been more than just getting him out of there. I would have Timberland the shit out of his ass. I would have had Timbs on, and he would have tasted that leather. But that's a side thing. This man overlooks the fact that a black woman just said that she received death threats from you know what types of people. He just said, well, you know, it ain't cool, you know, but she brings it on herself. It's number one. Guy claims, obviously, I'm not saying he's making a claim that he has a moral stance, but obviously he must think he has a moral stance. And then he just downplays a death threat. And he wants to go to the sexuality. I've been sexualized. And he wants to challenge her on that. Why? Now let's go to it.
Because it sounded like you said that you were being sexualized, right? Okay, guys, so I hate to bring it to Angel Reese's attention. What is this? You could have easily went to the pool and not posted any pictures. No one would have known this. This is Angel Reese, guys. This is her poolside, excuse me. This is Angel Reese poolside. And she's wondering why she's being sexualized. And this is why I call it.
All right, so this is basically what he's saying. He's saying because Angel Reese has claimed to have been sexualized before, he's saying that she should never wear bikinis or anything like that. And that way she doesn't have to worry about it. Just never wear bikinis, or I guess post a picture of the bikini, because he's saying, okay, it's okay to wear a bikini, go to the pool. Right? But to never post a picture of it. Now, we're going to let him continue, and then I'm going to rip this apart in a second.
Angel Reese on all that bullshit, guys. All that hypocrisy, guys. She likes to cry wolf when things aren't going in her favor. But, you know, she was the same person that took the court after the Game 3 win against the Indiana Fever and said, I'm a dog. My team needs me to be aggressive. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to bring this energy. Okay. Well, keep that energy. Keep that energy.
All right, so now we have the conflating of two different things. The way she plays on the court, which is her job and the primary reason we watch. I'm a dog on the court. So he believes that also means you can never show any signs of vulnerability. And that it also definitely means you can't wear swimwear at a pool and take a picture because of the fact that you're a dog. I'm trying to understand the logic here and what that has to do with hypocrisy. Hypocrisy is pretending to have qualities, beliefs, or feelings that one does not actually have. I want to know what quality, what belief did she claim to be upon that she's being phony about. Now, I'll concede this one thing. The religion that I follow does place a big emphasis on women not going out showing their bodies, right? So me as a Muslim that I am, when I see a woman covered like that, my responsibility is to turn away. This is why I don't follow Angel Reese like on, say, Instagram and so on. If she does post those types of things, I'll just go right by. I scroll right by that. I'm not going to waste my time, spend my time watching her in some provocative clothing. I'm not going to do that at all, because I got to understand at her age and in the culture she's in, that type of behavior is acceptable. It may not be necessarily acceptable in mine, but she hasn't became a Muslim. She hasn't become a nun. She hasn't become like a a priest or any. She hasn't claimed any type of system of moral superiority that I'm going to judge her based on, for me to turn around and say she's being a hypocrite. What she is, and what she's shown to be in the beginning, is the typical 20-something young lady that is and acts pretty much common the way they act and in that age group. So I don't quite get the hypocrisy thing. Now, you don't like her wearing the bikini, then don't look at it, bro. In the scripture that I follow, yes, women are instructed to cover a certain way when they go outside, but immediately afterwards, men are instructed to lower their gaze because there's a responsibility on both sexes. If a woman is dressed in a way that is deemed inappropriate, according to the system you follow, the whole responsibility isn't on the woman. The responsibility is also on the man. A woman dressing provocatively or in a way that you deem inappropriate or whatever does not give a man the right to violate the woman. The woman is still a sacred creature because she was created by God, and there is no right to violate. So I don't see where the hypocrisy comes. There's a responsibility on both parties, on both sexes. So I don't get that.
But don't cry when people are attacking you for over-sexualizing yourself like you're doing now. This is what Angel Reese...
Did she say people are attacking her for quote unquote over sexualizing herself? Because I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think about an American culture, right? Dressing in a bikini is acceptable in American culture. We're not following biblical culture. We're not following Quranic culture or anything. In American culture, a woman wearing a bikini is acceptable. Okay? So you got to judge from that standpoint. Is that considered sexualizing oneself? Or is something like, let's say, a television show we watch where two people are making out, pornography? Is that sexualizing oneself? I just don't know where, according to American standards, Angel Reese has done anything that is outside of the norm to where she's sexualizing herself. And then to the point where you can actually say, don't get mad if people are attacking you. What type of attack are you talking about? Criticizing the way she dressed, which is fine. You can do that. She can take or leave it. Or are you talking about violating? Do you believe that just because a woman dresses a certain way, that gives you the right to go in her inbox and say, I don't know, something inappropriate, like I'll lick your butt or something? I don't know what he's thinking. I'm just trying to come up with an example. Is that what you think?
Doing. Obviously, guys, I'm gonna tell you guys what I see. I think Angel Reese loves this attention. I think that she's always liked this attention. I think that she likes to be the big bad bully, and when her feelings are hurt, she wants people to come in her corner and defend her, and excuse all of the foolery. Oh, it's more, guys. Oh, it's more. Don't get it twisted, guys. How about this one? Okay, what are we doing here? I'm not saying, and guys, she looks good. This is
all right. What does it matter if she looks good or not? So I want to know where, according to the society we're living in, is dressing like this inappropriate, and then what point do you have a responsibility to not look? That's what I want to know, because you're the one making the claim about inappropriate behavior. She's not saying anything. You're the one, Mr. Charge the Game, whatever the hell your name is, you're the one making a claim about inappropriate behavior. If that's the case, why are you looking? Like me, I see Angel Reese as someone that's half my age. So I'm not going to go on her Instagram and look at, her in bikinis. I'm just not going to do that. That's beneath me. She's like, I got a daughter her age. But that's just me. Bro, you got to have some accountability on yourself as a spiritual creature yourself, because obviously, you want to judge.
This isn't me hating. This is just me saying, don't cry about shit. Okay, we don't want to hear any more of this over-sexualizing stuff, because this is clearly something that you aim with attention. You're dating rappers now. She's feeling herself a little bit.
First of all, the dating rapper thing is unconfirmed as well. People saw a picture of her with a rapper, like after a game, he went into a car like one time and was driving around. They have no idea what the hell was going on with that. There's been no confirmation of them dating, so that's just really pretty much a lie until it's confirmed. Right? That's what you think, but it appears that he's looking for anything that's negative against her. That's just what he's into.
Deservingly so. You know, she's doing her thing in the WNBA. It's her rookie year. She's on her own. And she's very, very young, guys. She's very young. So some of her takes are very emotionally immature, especially saying stuff like, you know, going at Caitlin Clark and saying, like, it's not just because of her, it's because of me. It's just.
And that's my other thing. I think a lot of these people have, like, problems with reading comprehension and also problems with understanding the English language. They have an issue. What they like to do is have preconceived notions already, and they take and interpret everything to fit the narrative that they have, which is based on a preconceived notion. Angel Reese is constantly bombarded and asked questions about Caitlin Clark. This is the first thing you got to answer. The first thing you got to acknowledge. The media are constantly asking questions about Caitlin Clark. That whole incident there took place around the time when Charles Barkley, for no apparent reason, goes out there and says, you know, oh, you women are petty, man. You know, you need to thank Caitlin Clark for getting your asses charter flights and all of this type of stuff. Spewing a bunch of nonsense. This guy right here agrees with Charles Barkley. He goes along with that narrative. He doesn't challenge that. So he's not a truther. He doesn't challenge that. He didn't need any proof from any of these sisters out here, anything, hating on Caitlin Clark, none of that. He's a guy that goes with the narrative. Angel Reese, after they won a game, that and with a sold out packed arena, tweeted something that we played in a packed out house and it wasn't because of one person. People like him and other Caitlin Clark people interpret it as coming at Caitlin Clark. To me, this is like either evil or stupidity. It's one or the other. Like it's bad reading comprehension. The tweet came out immediately in light of Charles Barkley's statement, because if you go back to the incident, Charles Barkley makes the statement on TNT at night. The following day, this whole thing is picked up by media outlets, ESPN, Fox, all of them. They're talking about it. And people are interpreting it as coming at Caitlin Clark because Caitlin Clark is the media darling right now. She's the golden goose, according to Stephen A. Smith, right? So Angel Reese is tweeting at the media, you dumb ass, ignorant ass, no reading comprehension ass individuals. That's who she's talking to. Caitlin Clark didn't say anything. So why would there be a tweet at Caitlin Clark? Yes, Caitlin Clark is the subject, but let's go back to general grammar. You could be the subject of the sentence, okay, but not the object of the verb, necessarily, okay? She was tweeting or talking at Charles Barkley and at the media who's claiming that Caitlin Clark is the reason for the whole jump. And if she does also believe she's a part of it as well as others, then that's her damn business. That's not coming at Caitlin Clark. But these dudes are so busy caping. They love Caitlin Clark for this unknown reason. Like, they love her for more than just basketball. And he's one of those guys. And I don't get it. Now, if you want to be a fan of hers, that's fine. If he's doing it because he knows y'all dumbass people are going to give him a bunch of likes and clicks, I can understand that. I can. I don't respect it, but I can understand it. But right now, I got to take him as just like this irrational Caitlin Clark fan, you know, who happens to be a black man. And he turns around, and as a result of that, he is out here creating a reputation for himself where he just comes at black women. Bro, I'm trying to tell you, you might not see the result of it now. It might be 5 years from now, it might be 10 years from now, by 20 years from now. You're going to regret it, because there is no reward for this at the end of the tunnel. You might make some money from YouTube, that you might get some exposure from white people and others, but I'm telling you, in the end, you're going to regret this path. It's a dark path.
she's very young and she doesn't know what she doesn't know, guys. At the end of the day, like I said, guys, Angel Reese, phenomenal body. You got it going on. Not gonna hate on you.
See, this is what I'm saying. Now you're the hypocrite. You're the hypocrite now, right? Because you're the one that by your actions are pretending to have qualities, beliefs, or feelings that you don't have. You shouldn't have a problem with her doing that because you the type that's gonna look at her body and say, hey, you got a phenomenal body. Like a real gentleman is not gonna look. Because if you stand on a moral principle, you're concerned about your moral principle. If you're a spiritual person, you're concerned about your spiritual state, so you're not gonna look. But you're looking and enjoying, and then you're gonna turn around and make a video. I don't understand what part of the game that is. How you gonna look, enjoy it, and then criticize? I don't understand that. As far as her saying she was sexualized, we don't know what the nature of that was. It could have been someone inboxing her saying something crazy. It could have been someone trying to follow her somewhere. And I don't care what she wears. I don't care if she's butt naked. That doesn't garner anyone the right to do that. And that's the hypocrisy you showing, bro.
But what I will call out is the hypocrisy and you contradicting yourself. And we don't want to hear no more of this, when things are going your way, you're living your life. You're looking just like this, all smiles, half naked, and you want everybody to see what you're working with. But then when things aren't going your way, you want sympathy, guys. Like, I'm just being honest with you guys. This is shit that I've been seeing from Angel Reese ever since she won the national championship, guys. Ever since she won the national championship, guys, she's been like this. She feels herself. She wants to pull the empathy card. She wants people to be empathetic when it comes to stuff like this.
Yeah, well, you should be empathetic about anybody receiving a death threat. If you got any moral sense to yourself, you should never believe that anything anyone did justifies that, unless the only way a death threat is warranted is if I threaten someone. Like if I threaten you, I'm gonna kill you, and then you threaten to kill me, that's the only time that's warranted. Or if I killed a family member of yours, that's the only time that's warranted. No one should receive a death threat because they're playing a fucking basketball game or they're wearing a bikini or whatever the hell they're doing on social media. So you're the hypocrite, bro. You are. You are. Because you're sitting here playing like you on some moral basis, some moral ground, moral high ground. And you're sitting there looking at the damn body, saying it's commenting that it looks good and phenomenal and all this kind of stuff. And then you saying that she don't have a right to feel any type of way. And first of all, if we go back to the interview where you're talking about that you're having question after LSU, like only a dullard who has no depth could fail to understand what's happening in that moment. I can't tell you how many times I've seen athletes come to tears after a game, after a loss, whether it's because they lost, whether it's because they know they're about to leave. Because there's a number of emotions going on. Number one, you lost the game, okay, which makes many players emotional. Some people are more emotional than other people. Like I said, there's 5 different temperaments out there. Some people get emotional, some melancholic people, some phlegmatic people, some. So that's nothing to judge their emotionalism. Secondly, she's leaving LSU, leaving college to move on to the pros. You won't experience this anymore with your teammates, with your friends. Some athletes get emotional about that. And if you ever played with a team, you can understand that. Right? So that's another emotion going on. Third is, you're asked a question about certain things. And then you start talking. And while those emotions are going on in her head immediately after a game, now she's answering a question and she's thinking about some of the things she has experienced and has gone through. None of it which is warranted. The only thing she went through that's warranted is if people criticizing her game. People say, oh, your game is trash. Oh, you need to work on your low post moves. I'm sure she don't even care about that shit. She's talking about individuals who sexualize her, whatever that means. I don't know. If people were talking about, I'll rape you. Bruh, all types of people say stuff in inboxes. Who knows? Or people saying, I'll kill you. You should care about that. And if you don't, there's something wrong with you. Your hatred for the person or dislike for the person overshadows the morality that you claim to have. And I'm not feeling it.
And this is just something that I wanted to talk about, guys. I don't even want to spend too much time, but this is just, you know what it is. This is the times we live in. People want attention until they don't want it. So you guys tell me what y'all think about.
All right, so this is what I'm trying to understand. How do you have a YouTube channel, right? This is the main hypocrisy thing. You have a YouTube channel, the whole purpose of which is to get your voice out, like I do. The whole idea of a YouTube channel, you want to talk about sports, you want to talk about people. The bottom line is you want to be heard. So you also want attention, just like I want attention. That's just part of the whole public space. If you don't want attention, you don't have a YouTube channel, you don't have Gmail, you don't have any of that stuff, right? So you claim that she just wants attention and you act like that's such a bad thing, yet you got a channel where you're talking about her because she gets attention and this gets you attention. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Brother, at the end of the day, we both want attention. We all want attention. But what's important is, what are you going to be remembered for? What is going to be your legacy? When you leave this earth, will you be known as a person that stood for what's right? That was a benefit for humanity on this planet? Or will you be known as a buck dancing, jigaboo ass coon who's known for bigging up other people going along with the main narrative, and in the midst of doing that, because it's okay to be a Caitlin Clark fan, I have no problem with that. But in the midst of doing that, you got to tear down individuals that you feel are a threat to her, despite the fact that they may be of your own race, thereby taking no responsibility as being a black man and understanding your role as being a steward and the leader of your household. And thus, when our households come together, us coming together as leaders of our particular community, believe me when I tell you, nobody respects what you're doing, bro. And I'm going to leave y'all with this one story, which I did go over before. And it is the story between the Roman. We're going to go to the Romans, okay? And this is something that Ibn Khaldun talks about. Well, man, we ain't going to go into that. But this is talking about the importance of group think. And this is something that I was, and a guy similar to him also come at me in my inbox or on my page, telling me that my approach leads to the idea that black people are just group thinkers, as if there's some benefit to being an individualist and not a group thinker. Let me help you out, sir. And this is why I'm going to tell you the benefit of group think. Ptolemy and Julius Caesar were two generals in the army. This was during the time when Rome was still a republic, a democratic, I guess you can call it, republic. They were at war, vying over who would have control of Rome. They were going to topple the Senate, all of that kind of stuff. These guys were at war. Their two armies were literally at war. Julius Caesar got the upper hand. Ptolemy flees the whole area of Rome and all of that. He ends up going to Egypt, which is just right across the narrow sea, the Mediterranean, right? So goes to Egypt. And he hides in Egypt somewhere. Julius Caesar hears that he goes to Egypt. So Julius Caesar goes to follow Ptolemy. When he gets, not Ptolemy, I'm sorry. Pompey is his name, okay? Pompey, not Ptolemy, Pompey. The other names mixed up. So he goes to follow Pompey. When he gets to Egypt, he goes to, I think the capital is in Alexandria at this time, and he meets with with Pompey, I think is either third or the fourth, but Pompey is the brother of the famous Cleopatra, okay? So Julius Caesar meets with Pompey. Pompey wants to take the side of Julius Caesar over that of Ptolemy wants to take the side of Julius Caesar over that of Pompey. Okay, so what he does is he tries to please Julius Caesar. Like he brought him a gift, basically. And what he does is he tells his men, bring out his gift for him, because he wants to become an ally with Rome. And he feels that Caesar will be the guy that's really going to take power. Okay? So Julius Caesar's like, okay, this is a common thing to bring a gift. So he opens up the box. And the gift, actually, when Julius Caesar looks in the gift, in the box, the gift is the head of Pompey, the guy that was fighting against Julius Caesar, his enemy, the guy that he was chasing. So Ptolemy says, "Hey, I did your work for you, right? Good gift, right, for him. So now Julius Caesar ain't got to do no work." You know what Julius Caesar did? He looked in that box. He looked up at Ptolemy with an angry, stern look on his face. And he said basically what means, he said, "Joker," he said, "what the hell made you think you could put their hands on a Roman?" And he was not pleased with what he did. At all. What is the point I'm making here? And then after that, Julius Caesar, of course, supported Cleopatra's claim over Pompey's. Over Ptolemy's and all of that, right? But anyway, what is the point here? The Romans had something that Ibn Khaldun called asabiya, or it can be translated as groupthink. The Romans had unity amongst themselves, and that unity was over everything. Not saying it's right or wrong, but what I am going to tell you is that it made Rome supreme and made them more powerful than other places on the earth. Do you understand the significance of the movie 300? Do you understand the significance of that? The movie between the Greeks and the Persians? When the Persians went up against the grandson of the Greek King Cyrus, Xerxes. You understand that? The reason the Greeks used to get their ass kicked by the Persians. And the Persians are actually more of the righteous side than the Greeks were, by the way. Just want to say that. But the reason the Greeks never got a victory over the Persians until Alexander. Do you know why? Because prior to Alexander, the Greeks were a bunch of city-states. You know, Sparta, Athens, and other states, Macedonia, blah, 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 whatever. I don't even know if Macedonia is necessarily a state, but there are a number of different city-states. Alexander is the one that was able to unify all of them. And that's what the second movie was about. When the Greeks finally became unified, they were able to beat the Persians. What guys like you don't understand is that your strength is going to be in the unity of your damn people. You don't understand that. And this ain't saying you got to always support black people when they're wrong over white people and all that. We ain't saying that. But what I'm telling you is you're aiding in the weakness, bro. That's what you're aiding in. You're aiding in the weakness and you don't see that. You think this morality that you're standing on is going to be the key. And it isn't. We can deal with that morality shit afterwards. Unify first, then deal with that morality shit later. Because right now, we're not a unified polity. That's the problem. And this is why people are making fun of Kamala Harris right now. People think that's a fucking joke. You understand? And there's a reason for that. I ain't gonna get into all that, bro. I just gonna leave it with that, man. This is sad. Peace out.